Chapter 3, Lesson 7, Graphing Linear Inequalities on the coordinate plane. So first of all, what is the difference between linear equalities and linear inequalities? So linear equalities have an equal sign, and they are graphed by points and collected by a solid line. Linear inequalities use less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and is graphed by points and connected by either a dashed line or a solid line. Also, in linear inequalities, you need to shade part of the coordinate plane. So how are we going to graph these linear inequalities? First thing we have to do is make sure the inequality is in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, or standard form. And if it's in standard form, we can use intercepts to solve. When we go to graph, we're going to use a solid line for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and a dashed line for just less than or just greater than. As far as shading goes, for less than or equal to, we're going to shade below our line, and for greater than or equal to, we're going to shade above. Remember that x equals a number is a vertical line, and y equals a number are horizontal lines. So in this example, we have an 2x minus y is in a standard form, less than 6. So since it's in standard form, I'm going to solve using intercepts. So if I want to solve for the x-intercept, I'm going to cover up the y. So I have 2x is less than 6. So x is less than 3. So my x-intercept is 3, 0. If I solve for the y, I have negative y is less than 6. Divide by negative 1, which will flip my sign. And y is greater than negative 6. So it's at negative 6, 0. 0, negative 6. Because it's my y-intercept. Now when I go to connect the points, I check out my inequality. It's a less than, so I'm going to give it a dashed line. Then as far as my shading goes, I check for the fact that it's a less than, I shade below the line, which is everything under here. Example number 2 is also in standard form. I'm going to get it into y equals form. So if I take subtract 3x from both sides, that would give me y is less than negative 3x plus 8. So my intercept is 8, and my slope is negative 3 over 1. 8, down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1. Going to my line here, it's a less than, it's not equal to, so it's going to be a dashed line. And then for my shading, it's less than, so I'm going to shade everything below my line. The next thing we'll have to do is graph two inequalities on the same coordinate system and find their intersection or where they cross. So in this first one, I have just x is less than or equal to 3, which I know is a vertical line at 3 on the x. And it's less than or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line. And because it's less than or equal to, I'm going to shade to the left of this line. The next one says y is less than or equal to 1x minus 2. So I'm going to start at negative 2, and my slope is 1, so I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Looking here, it's a solid line because it's less than or equal to. And because it's less than or equal to, I'm going to shade below. So now I look for the area that is the intersection or the area that they have in common. And the area they have in common where there's both green and orange shading is right here. So this will be my final intersection point. On the second one, I have two options again. I could get it into y equals form, or I could graph it by intercepts. So I'm going to do intercepts. So in order to solve for the x-intercept, I'm going to cover the y. So the x-intercept is -4. To solve for the y-intercept, I'm going to cover up the x. I need to divide both sides by 0.5, and then I'll get y is greater than or equal to -8. There. Because it's greater than or equal to, it's going to be a solid line. And because it's greater than, I'm going to shade above. On my second one, I just have y is less than or equal to -2, so I know that it's a horizontal line because there's no x. And because it's less than or equal to, it's solid. And because it's less than, I'm going to shade below. And so the area where these two cross is this section right here in green.